Hi, I'm JT Cooper. Let me introduce you to Warrior Rounds. Imagine with me, if you will, a retreat center where we bring in 20 vets and 20 riders, and we put them together and let them open up and start telling their story. Everybody's got a war story. Songwriters know how to take that and articulate it into a song to memorialize their service. America is really a whole lot about, what have you done for me lately? So these guys come home and they feel lost because they're not on mission anymore. They don't know sometimes what to do next. And they're trying to figure that out all at the same time, trying to figure out how to articulate what they're feeling inside. We can do that for them. We can help them do that. Then we're gonna go do the live show, and we take it to Nashville where people are always looking to find the story behind the song. We have so many patriotic Americans that come to Nashville, loving music, and they wanna see how that story came to life. We got it on video from the retreat. We show the video from the interview. We bring the spotlight down, and the songwriter comes out and does a world debut of that song. A warrior is somebody who's internalized a struggle. Somebody that knows that they've been through something and they're trying to figure out how to get to the next step. We want to help people get to the next step. We want to tell them that what they've been through mattered. Maybe it's somebody who's never set foot on a battlefield. Maybe it's a cancer survivor. Maybe it's a police officer. Maybe it's a firefighter. Maybe it's a Gold Star family who lost a loved one. Americans are going to continue to fight, whether it's abroad or at home, to make America a better place to be. We need to keep that light on a hill, and songs help us do that. Warrior Rounds is about telling the story of those who can't tell it for themselves. And we're going to help them articulate that in the Nashville tradition.
So yeah, Gold Star family is basically a person or family who's lost a loved one that served in the military, and our father was in the military. Whenever we were little, he got deployed after 9/11, and my mom moved to New York, and basically he came home and basically he just shot himself, and that's how we became a Gold Star family.
Our song is about how everything we went through with our dad, passing away. It was sad, and we didn't really get to know him. We were too young. But it was about how we saw pictures and videos and stuff of him and us, and how happy we were, and how our mom was trying to be a mom and a dad for us, trying to help us to carry on. So
it was about us realizing how good it was before he passed away, and how he gave us all that strength just from all of that, and help us carry on with our life, And my mom being such a strong mother, she helped us out a lot, really. She cared about us.
Yeah, I think it's really what she said. We all we can really rely on is pictures and memories. We don't really get to relive that moment, and yeah.
I mean, we've been through a lot, but we always stay together. We argue. We argue, but we still come back to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Caitlin actually said something really difficult to hear, but really beautiful, about the fact that when she looked at pictures, that she had to believe that the happiness in the pictures was something she could hold on to and was real. And that really stuck out to me. And so when we were talking about writing subjects, I said, is that something that y'all three would connect to, is to speaking about the pictures, and that sometimes no matter what's going on now, or no matter how people felt in the pictures, it all looks good in the pictures. And we just worked through it, verses at a time, and we got a chorus, and we ended out with something that I think they should be really proud of, because I just put it on paper, so.
I just want to say that whatever you're going through, it's in the end, it's just going to make you stronger, and you're going to get over it. And whatever happened for a reason.
You'll get through it, trust me.
And you won't feel the pain that you had before. All you feel is love and strength in you to encourage someone else to step up and talk about what happened to them if they're ever feeling the same way. My name is Caitlin Krajewska.
My name is Isaiah.
And I'm Jackie.
My name is Lexis Wilkins, and our song is called Pictures.
We went to the park, didn't go home till it got dark. You played your guitar, held our hands and it got hard. And I know it was too much, but you taught us to be tough. And sometimes it's still too much, but it all looks good in pictures when I miss you. It's something I can hold on to. It's here when you can't be, like a memory, filling in the stories. Sometimes I'm in my head, replaying what you said. And sometimes real life ain't so pretty, but it all looks good in pictures. When you left, Mom was strong. She picked us up and carried us on, and she hid all the bad, showed us all the good we had. And I know it was too much, but you taught us to be tough. And sometimes it's still too much, but it all looks good in pictures when I miss you. It's something I can hold on to. It's here when you can't be, like a memory, filling in the stories. Sometimes I'm in my head, replaying what you said. Sometimes real life ain't so pretty, but it all looks good in pictures. But it all looks good in pictures. But it all looks good in pictures when I miss you. It's something I can hold on to. It's here when you can't be, like a memory, filling in stories. And sometimes I'm in my head, replaying what you said. And sometimes real life ain't so pretty, but it all looks good in pictures when I miss you. It's something I can hold on to. It's here when you can't be, like a memory, filling in the stories. Or sometimes I'm in my head, replaying what you said. And sometimes real life ain't so pretty, but it all looks good in pictures. But it all looks good in pictures.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mike called me last night saying, "Hey, we got this going on. I've been meaning to invite you." I'm like, "Okay, when is it?" "Tomorrow morning, 9:00 a.m. I'm like, all right, I'll try to be there. Let's see what I can do. It's about my dad, about like if he was here, what all we would do. You know, he laid down his life for our freedom. You know, I mean, in my eyes, as his son, that's best example you could ever sit for as a dad. You know, defending your country for what you believe in, and all I've got is stories. From what I've heard, he's a prankster. You know, he's always the one. He couldn't set no better example than to lay down his life, you know. He was on the phone to my mom whenever he did pass. He went through Humvee in front of him, night vision goggles decided to malfunction, so his Humvee had to take the lead. He went to go film my mom, and that's when the explosion, they hit the IED. So having that father figure missing is really rough on you. I am thankful that I have a grandfather that did step up into his place and took that dad role and taught me all that I know. I'm thankful to have the friends that I have that understand, oh, hey, it's one of those days.
As far as for riding with Spencer, it was just a good mesh. We enjoyed each other. Of course, he's gone through a lot losing his dad in Iraq years ago, and we tried to do our best to get a couple things that he had in his heart onto pen and paper. And we tried to paint a detailed, vague picture so that others can relate to the song, But it's all Spencer's, thoughts and processes that he's had to deal with since, I think his dad was killed when he was 4, right? So he's had all this time to just store up thoughts and whatnot. And I think we did a great job, but the whole thing is as long as this guy was satisfied with the song, that's what this is all about, so that he can open up. And now he can actually play the song for folks to show him what he's going through without having to tell him, It's just a kind of a communication thing, and it's it can't be easy. I can't even fathom what he's going through. I can't even begin to know, But so you do the best you can, and you try to pay homage to the subject of the song, and the heart of the one going through it. That's it.
There's a saying that we have is called the moment of realization. It comes every now and then. You never know when it's gonna come, and it's that moment when you realize they're gone. It comes, it goes, comes in the times that you don't want it to. It's there. My name is Spencer Hahn, and my song is If He Were Still Here.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Lee. I'm in charge of the marketing for Warrior Rounds. I'm really honored to be a part of this organization that tells one Warrior's story, one song at a time. We have so much that we're planning, and we've got a lot coming up in the future, so please stay tuned as we begin to tell you more and more about what we're doing at Warrior Rounds.
Rural America. It's Brent Adams with Rural Strong Media and the host of the Tractors and Troubadours radio show and podcast. And what does it mean to be the definitive voice of rural America? Well, it means coming to Capitol Hill and talking to lawmakers about the challenges and opportunities in rural America and in agriculture, helping them understand just the impact that you have, not only on this country, but on the entire world. And that's never been more pressing than it is right now. And each week we have those discussions, and we bring them to you on Tractors and Troubadours, as well as the other content at ruralstrongmedia.com. And we hope you'll follow along. Follow us on the socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. As we get into the summer months and through the rest of 2022, leading up to the 2023 Farm Bill, we are going to be deep into those discussions, helping lawmakers understand what you want them to know, and then bringing that information back to you from Capitol Hill. We hope you'll follow along to the definitive voice of rural America.
If you were still here, all the things that we could do, all the chances we would take, just me and you. If you were still here, we could shake each other's hand. I could hold you tight, you could watch me be a man. If you were still here. Well, everybody says I look like you, and that don't bother me. And when I'm driving your old truck, I sit high in the seat. But what lays beyond this windshield would be way more clear if you were still here. If you were still here, I wouldn't need these dog tags. I look forward to the day that I can give them back. If you were still here, I wouldn't need to wear this mask that says that I'm okay when anybody asks. If you were still here. Everybody says I look like you, and that don't bother me. And when I'm driving your old truck, I sit high in the seat. But what lays beyond this windshield would be way more clear if you were still here. Yeah, what lays beyond this windshield would be way more clear if you were still here. If you were still here. Spencer Hahn.
Rick Tiger.
Amen.
Rick Tiger was a friend of Warrior Rounds and one of our songwriters, and he died on September the 2nd of COVID. And he was supposed to be at the retreat in September, and it took me a little bit of time because there was some things going on with Facebook, but it broke my heart when I found out Rick was gone. He was one of the first guys I met when I came to Nashville. Just a heck of a guy. Very encouraging. Rick was always one of those guys that always had a kind word to say and something encouraging. And I'll never forget Rick as long as I live. But we're going to let Rick Tiger play one more time here on the stage in Nashville.
So I'm up in Wilmington, Illinois, and we do this thing called Operation Cherry Bend. It's a bunch of people with the same heart that JT has. So anyway, we just go up and entertain them. The only requirement is they have to be combat wounded. So whether it's mental or physical, and they fly in, drive in, however, transport 30 guys and gals, and that's a requirement of the soldiers. And then we go in and we entertain them throughout, just in jokes and life and everything. We don't heal their bodies, but sometimes you can heal their souls through a song. Right. Or through conversation, you know? And so about 6 of them are in wheelchairs. So we wrote this one with one of them. All right. You ready for this, JT?
I'm listening.
In this chair, the world has gotten taller, but these 4 wheels don't make me smaller or less than who I am. In this chair, life can be a battle. There ain't nothing I can't handle from where I stand. It don't rock, it rolls, it's a few years old, and it gets me where I'm going. I can't reach some things, but I see some things that you don't even notice. And I have no fear that God still hears my prayer, 'cause I'm standing 10 feet tall in this chair. In this chair. In this chair, I can still hold a hand and in my own way dance to the music that I hear. In this chair, my heart's still just as big, strong enough to give, weak enough to shed a tear. It don't rock, it rolls, it's a few years old, and it gets me where I'm going. I can't reach some things, but I see some things that you don't even notice. And I have no fear that God still hears my prayer, 'cause I'm standing 10 feet tall in this chair. And I'm not the one who gets to say what's fair. But in this chair, well, some may say I'm brave. I just take it day to day, standing in this chair.
I'm Sam Rhodes. I'm a retired Army, 29 years, and from Fortson, Georgia. I'm retired as Command Sergeant Major, U.S. Army. You see a lot of things when you do go to combat. I spent 30 out of 32 months in the war, and directly in the units that lost 37 soldiers, and so that kind of takes a toll on a person. Got so bad in 2007, I put a gun in my mouth, and I was getting ready to take my own life, and was not for a fellow veteran leader that I was working for that really kind of got me inspired to, I was an important person, and it kind of helped me see the light. And that's kind of the story about my song, is that you only got 1 second to convince me or anybody else that there is a reason why we're hanging on, that we're still struggling. I mean, 30% of the folks like me every day that's tried to take their life or thought about it eventually succumb to it. And, you know, you have to be able to find that one person that's going to tell you, no matter what, the honest opinion of what you got going on, and be there for you. You have to be able to do that. A veteran knows how you're feeling. Somebody that's been around you that knows what kind of personality, they know how you feel, and they can recognize that you're challenged right now. Writing a song means that I've came to full circle, really, that I really understand that it was worth it to me to serve our country.
A lot of times we're set down to write with an artist, and they're going to be the one singing something for 30 years. So we learn to find out what they want to write, what's important to them, what's meaningful, but also to write something that appeals to everybody out there. And listening with Sam, I kept kind of hearing him say the same thing over and over about having a vet that he can see in their eye that they're going through something, and it's something he thinks he can help them with, but they won't always let him. And so that's where we came up with the title for this song. The hook of the song is like, if it was worth fighting for, it's worth living for. And Sam really spoke that through his conversation. He may not have said it exactly, but that's what I kept hearing and kept getting the, hair-raising feeling on my skin. And so that's what we wrote. If he sees a guy in pain, a guy that's going to pull the trigger, he wants to be the guy that the guy calls, and he talks him out of it, and vice versa. If Sam has a rough patch and needs somebody, he wants that guy to be the guy that, steps up and says, I see in your eye, I see what you're going through. It's not the time for the end. This is time to begin again.
My name is Sam Rhodes. My song was It's Worth It to Me.
Hey, this is Bobby Boyd, and I've been honored to be a part of the Warrior Rounds pretty much since the beginning, and it's been a great opportunity and a great learning experience to hear their stories when they come back, and the problems they have after they come back, and to be able to sit in a room and hear their experiences and hear their hurts and their pains, and be able to translate that into a song and help them get their message out to their family, to their friends, to their other warriors who have had problems or having problems with mental things. And every time I'm with a different person, I'm learning more and more, and it's just wonderful to see how this whole thing is advanced and how it's growing, and the number of people that are coming in and seeing people get healed. It's an awesome thing. So after being with this organization for several years, I hope that others will see what we're doing and will come and support Warrior Rounds. Stay tuned for what's coming up next on Warrior Rounds. I think my buddy Sam's over there. Yep, Mr. Sam Rhodes. Inspiration for this. I'll try to do us proud, Sam.
know that look in your eyes. I've seen it too many times in mine. Brother, let me give you a hand. Remind you that you're back in the promised land. I'm here to help you see you are not alone. I'm here to be a voice to keep you holding on. 'Cause after the eagle flies, after the stars and stripes, sometimes it seems that life is just running up the score. Don't leave it all behind. Don't let the demons win this war. If it was worth fighting for, you know it's worth living for. When the darkness calls your name, even the toughest ain't so brave. And when the world's not playing fair, just make the call and I'll be there. I've been through these storms, I felt what you're going through, and I'll be here to stand side by side with you. 'Cause after the eagle flies, after the stars and stripes, sometimes it seems that life is just running up the score. Don't leave it all behind. Don't let the demons win this war. If it was worth fighting for, it's surely worth fighting for. Don't let this be where the story ends. Let this be where the healing begins. And brother, I might need you to say these words to me someday. 'Cause after the eagle flies, after the stars and stripes, sometimes it seems that life is just running up the score. Don't leave it all behind. Don't let the demons win this war. If it was worth fighting for, you know it's worth living for. If it was worth fighting for, you know it's worth living for. If it was worth dying for, it ought to be worth living for.
I'm Colonel John Reitzel, U.S. Army retired infantry, ground pounding soldier, part-time special ops ranger. I served for 28 plus years, and we moved 28 times in those 28 years. So there's a lot of history there, and it's coming back now. I'm way older than 23, which is what I was when I went to Vietnam. Way more experience, a heck of a lot smarter, but it's still there. Yeah. And that deep dark hole in your chest for the people that you lost or were wounded and you never heard about it. They didn't want to be in Vietnam. All my rifle platoon were draftees, and they didn't want to be in Vietnam. Never heard of Vietnam. Why are we here? Why don't we go north and smash those guys and get this thing over with, instead of 10,000 days with 58,800 casualties killed and 303,000 wounded. It's obscene, but if you put it in perspective, we fought for each other. It's easier to put in perspective than it was when I was 23 or even when I was 50. Dan picked it up really well, and we got all the way through coming home, and still here, and I'll fight for love.
There's a lot of things that in my military career that we resemble a lot. We may have been different bases, but we did some of the same things, you know? In those 28 years, yet you're trying to learn how to live and why you live. Why do you survive? Why do you fight so hard to survive? The easiest thing is to do is die. As we were writing this thing, I'm sitting there going, a whole section of life was retired. And then what do you do next? What's that? What you finally get down to the reason, and that's the love. It's as you can tell, pretty emotional for me. Because it's real.
What are you doing this for? And you're doing it for the other guy. You're doing it because you love him and you want to get home to family, friends,
Everybody
wives.
wants the same thing, don't they?
Absolutely. And it's we're not fighting for the flag. We're not fighting for Hershey bars and Coca-Colas. We're fighting for each other.
What me and John were talking about, when they lay you down 6 feet under, you know, the only thing that's going to last forever is that you loved, and who you loved, and when you loved, and why you loved. You'll get up here and sing it with me? You'll face bullets, but you won't do this, huh? You may not know it, but a hero died today. The news may not show it, but 50,000's passed away. Some of them were friends of mine. They were brothers. They put their lives on the line for each other. Now my day is come and gone. My shooting's done. They say 'cause I made it home that my war is won. They never said there'd be a hole inside me I can't fill. I may not know why I survived, but one day I will, 'cause I'm still here, hanging tough. With every day I wake up, I'll fight for love. They never did, and if that's the only reason, let me tell you that's enough. I'm still here, and I fight for love. This is for your wife. I may, sorry, but this is for you, darling. I spent most of my life doing things that I can't say. And if I told you, I wonder, would you still look at me that way? Took my life to get here, and I want to stay here a while. I spend so much time on foreign shores just to get back to your smile. But I'm still here, hanging tough. Every day I wake up, I fight for love. If that's the only reason, let me tell you that's enough. 'Cause I'm still here, and I fight for love. Yes, I'm still here, and I'll fight for love. Thank you, John.
Yeah. Nice. Nice talk.
Hey, this is Dan DeMay. Stay tuned for what's coming up next on Warrior Rounds.
Well, hey there, it's Brent Adams, host of the Tractors and Troubadours radio show and podcast in Elvis Presley Plaza in Memphis, Tennessee. Are you subscribed to the socials for Rural Strong Media? If not, you're going to find yourself in Heartbreak Hotel because you're going to be missing the very best in agriculture coverage, education, information, and even a little entertainment. And we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and even TikTok. Find us there and follow along.
Check. I had to do that. Life is now very complete.
Life is complete.
Someone should have videotaped me doing that.
You got a video.
I know. You got to email me that or something. Have your people get a hold of my people.
Have your people call my people and hopefully they'll.
There's a piece of your life sometimes when you go through things that you need to deal with. And if you don't deal with it, it's hard to move on because you keep holding on to the past. But the Band-Aids got ripped off today. You know, I feel pretty good about the process. I feel really good about the process. I feel great about these guys. I mean, I feel like we all became best friends today, you know. If you get a chance to be a part of this, do it. It's gonna help you because he's gonna ask the right questions. These guys are gonna give you the right words. It was amazing. I don't like that word because I think it's overused, but it was amazing. My name is Chris Deaver. I was a team leader with Bravo Company, 214 Infantry Battalion. I was in Mogadishu. I wasn't in the big battle known as Black Hawk Down. I got wounded on September 13th, doing another mission, which was slightly different, and things went sour. I found myself with a gunshot hole in my side, and we were so pinned down that there wasn't much we could do. So I did the only thing that I knew how to do, and that was I prayed. But it's what led me to pray that was so painful, because I was told 2 days before this mission that my wife at the time was pregnant. I just did what I did, and I just prayed. And the prayer that I prayed was, God, just keep me alive long enough to see my son be born, and then I'll be yours. Well, sometimes you got to hold up your end of the deal, and I didn't quite hold up my end of the deal. As life went on, I fell away. I let the pain consume me. I let the anger consume me, and it led me down a dark path, man. Skylar, I know you think I abandoned you. But I just really wanted you to have the life that I didn't think I could provide for you. You might not understand what I'm saying if you hear this, but I just want you to know I've never stopped loving you. I know you feel like I haven't been there. I know you feel like that I threw you to the dogs. I just wanted you to have the stability that I couldn't provide. And in being selfish that way, I guess I didn't realize I was causing you your own trauma. I never meant to do that. And if I could take all that back, I would. But I know I can't. But what I really would like is for us to be able to make amends. So if you're seeing this and there's a piece of you in your heart, even if it's just a small little piece that wants to make amends, I believe God's gonna help us out here. I love you. My name is Chris Deaver, and the song we wrote today is I Prayed.
Don't be afraid to be man enough to say, I need help. And you just saw that lived out on that screen. Left out on a mission like a lot of those before. When I started bleeding out, it became my personal war. Been a while since I reached out, got a baby on the way. God, I promise to give you my heart if you get real today. And I pray God send grace my way. And I pray, Father, help me find a way. When I got out and I got home, I brought that anger deep inside. That cost me a brand new son and once a loving bride. And I pray made it back from hell, but I brought demons home. Alcohol and drugs had me convinced that I was strong. I was so dang full of pride, like the army taught me to be. What I finally had to remember was a real man needs his needs. And I pray, God bring grace my way. And I pray, Lord help me through today. And I got out and I came home and I brought that feeling deep inside. That cost me my brand new son and once a loving bride. And I pray, now I've had second chances now with daughters that I love. But I know I still have a son and he knows Dad messed up. And I pray, God bring grace my way. And I pray, Father help us find a way. Father help him understand I'm not who I used to be. I'll keep praying that right here till I die on bended knee. And I pray, dear God, I pray, yes, I pray. I do too. Hi, this is JT Cooper. Stay tuned for what's coming up next on Warrior Rounds.
Well, hey there, Brent Adams, Rural Strong Media, and the Tractors and Troubadours radio show and podcast. You know, we go from coast to coast telling the story of agriculture each week. We invite you to follow along on the Tractors and Troubadours radio show and podcast. Also, ruralstrongmedia.com. There we have Tractors and Troubadours, as well as our 24/7 internet radio station, Rural Strong Radio. There we've got our great ag programming as well as some country music. We'd love for you to come along. Also follow us on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And follow along Tractors and Troubadours at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Deezer, Audible, Odyssey, and the new Samsung free app. Rural Strong Media, from the White House to your house, the definitive voice of rural America.
Hi, this is Randy Fincham. To be a part of Warrior Rounds has been a blessing to get to tell the stories of the warriors from the battlefield and in life. Where do I begin with the power of what Warrior Rounds has brought to my life? To get to hear the stories of true warriors both on and off the battlefield and get to transfer them over into the songwriting craft to communicate musically the power of these stories to others has also been a process that has benefited me. I get to draw on the inspiration of these people right in front of me, and hopefully through the songwriting craft that I've been blessed with, that I can tell that story with the warriors so other warriors, the inner warrior in them, can come out also.
My name is Eric Frazier, and I was with 324 India Company, the Marine Reserve Unit out of Nashville, back from 04 to 08. Well, I was only there in Iraq for 27 days. We was riding in a Humvee that day, and we was all laughing and cutting up and talking, and the last thing I remember was we all laughed, and then I woke up in Bethesda, Maryland 5 days later. The nurses leaned over me and telling me that I'd lost my legs, but that I was okay. Took me about 2 years in Walter Reed Hospital of rehab and everything to get finally retired out of the Marine Corps, get my new prosthetics and actually learn how to walk. The only thing that kept me going and the only thing that got me up and walking in just a few months was the fact of knowing that my brothers are going to be back. And if they're completing their job over in Iraq, then I need to complete my job here before they get back. It's a challenge. I mean, it's some of the hardest things that I got to do, because me being a single parent, I don't have the option really to, well, my leg hurts today, I'm not going to wear it. I got to figure out a way to get it on because I got to get her to school. There's a lot of times where, it feels like that you just can't go on, you can't do it, you can't get this on, it's hurting too bad today, you're just going to have to do something else, but I just refuse, and she helps drive that home in me and keep you reminded all the time of what I'm doing it for. Really, the context of the song is trying to, encapsulate the bond of brotherhood, and to help show that brotherhood will get you through anything if you allow it.
It's almost overwhelming the power when you start to hear the stories from the soldiers, and you want to do that so bad. You want to tell the story and nail it so bad so other people can tell it. So we talked for a long time before I think we even got the first line done, first few lines, and it's kind of, even as the writing went on, it kind of trimmed itself down, carved itself down, where the part of the song which is the constant is, hey, the brotherhood, the love from someone else, and knowing that you're loved got him through those times. You don't have to have somebody right in front of you or even talking to you on the phone to know that you're loved. You can know that they're thinking of you and they know you're thinking of them, and that's what happened a half a world away. That's a strong bond, and that helped pull Eric through the physical and the emotional and the mental recovery this had to be, just knowing that, hey, he carried on their legacy and they his, and that's a pretty strong bond. That's a brotherhood, and I'm glad to get to do this today. It was awesome.
I'm Eric Frazier, and the name of my song is Brotherhood.
When I woke up in Bethesda, I was in the ICU. A nurse was leaning over me, changing my breathing tube. She said, Lance Corporal Frazier, you were hit by an IED. 3 weeks later, they moved me over to Walter Reed, right after they broke the news about Bruschetta and Overstreet. We were riding in our Humvee,
we just switched our seats. Trouble always found me, bad luck was my last name, and they followed me from Tennessee to the place where my life changed, on a dirt road in Fallujah, that hot October day. And now I'm getting cards and letters, phone calls and emails too. Soldiers half a world away are right here with me in this room. When we enlist, we know the deal, from boot camp to the battlefield, till our last breath, it's always in our blood. Brotherhood. Now I wake up every morning knowing over there it's night. Every day I check that list and I thank God they're still alive. I hear their voices in my head saying, don't you give up, man. They put the rods in my arms and they gave me my new legs. First week of January, I finally learned to stand. 'Cause my boys are coming home in April, and I'm gonna be there when that plane lands. Trouble always found me, bad luck was my last name, and they followed me from Tennessee to the place where my life changed, on a dirt road in Fallujah, that hot October day. And now I'm getting cards and letters, phone calls and emails too. Soldiers half a world away are right here with me in this room. When we enlist, we know the deal, from boot camp to the battlefield, till our last breath, it's always in our blood. Brotherhood. Yeah, till our last breath, it's always in our blood.
Stand up, Eric Frazier.
Oh, brotherhood. Lance Corporal Eric Frazier, United States Marine Corps.
God bless you.
God bless you, buddy. And I realized that I was sitting across the table from a hero that meant through a lot more than I'll ever have to go through. And I realized this. It takes a hell of a man to get back on his feet when they ain't there no more. Now it ain't just on the battlefield where badasses are born.
Woo!